And I just realized my microphone was off. So, greetings everyone, I am Dr. J. And, as promised, I have returned. After finishing up the last 3 routes, we've seen to the Blue Lions, we've seen to both of the Black Eagle routes, and now it is time to see to the Golden Deer. As I said earlier, I've gotten through part 1, but before we jump straight into it, there's a few things I'd like to talk about first. First of all, the game just got updated. There is now a new difficulty level, which means the time that'll be required before I can properly review this just increased by a factor of, well, actually not by a factor of magnitude, but this is going to add on quite a bit of time before I can properly review it. That being said, there's large portions of the game that I will be able to talk about, and it's going to be a long review anyway, so honestly at this point, I'd be surprised if I even have the video ready by December. Good lord, it's going to take forever and a half to get this thing out. I might just forgo reviewing Pokemon Sword and Shield because there's just so much to get through, holy crap. But regardless, there are other matters to see to as well. So before we jump in, there are a couple of, well, I guess, is there anything else around the update that should be mentioned? Well, first of all, I did buy the DLC because they added a few new auxiliary battles that will be marked by a yellow symbol instead of red. And they've also changed the voice actor for Byleth, because the original voice actor had effectively been fired because he broke an NDA and did a couple things which I will not detail here to people, which he copped to, and yeah. I'm not entirely sure what the circumstances were, and I haven't read fully the allegations, but point being, he got accused of something, he copped to it, and around the same time he was ousted officially because of breaking an NDA by telling people, hey, I'm the voice actor for Byleth. But here you are. So the voice actor for male Byleth has changed, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I necessarily like the voice yet. Because I've heard a couple of the comparisons and knew somewhat what was coming by virtue of Fire Emblem Heroes. I don't play it too much at the moment, but based on that, it was a much gentler voice, and the problem is I don't necessarily think it works for the combat situations we're in here. It sounds like his emotions are more stilted instead of presenting the stern face of, I'm here to get the job done. It's more of, I'm stilted emotionally, and I don't feel... It doesn't seem as assertive to me is the thing. So I don't know if I necessarily like it yet, but for now... Yeah, well, there's not much I can do about it anymore, so at least I've got my old footage to look back on if I need a sample of it, and I'm sure that there's some sampling of it that doesn't involve music if I really cared enough. But either way, so that covers everything of import. I'm not sure as of yet what I want to do when it comes to the maddening difficulty, because they also drastically increase the amount of extra renown you get from New Game Plus, to where when I jump back into my Golden Deer route, I went to check the amount of renown I had over at the Saint statues, and I was able to max it all out while only using a third of the renown they gave me. Yeah, they threw a lot at you, which means either they wanted to, I don't know, they wanted to reward us for spending so much time with the game, or they are trying to soften us up before the maddening difficulty comes in and decides to just destroy us. So, either way, we'll see how that turns out. I'll probably do that maddening route off stream. My thinking right now is that I'll replay the Golden Deer either in New Game Plus or maybe not in New Game Plus just to see how painful it is. But for now, we've got a Golden Deer route to see to. So, again, before we jump in, let's get to know the characters a little bit more. So, yeah, I have been using male Byleth for this, so I guess we'll start with Byleth's interactions with them, because I need to be reminded of a few of them. I've been playing this game, I guess, no, I'm not going to use the red background. So, let me just change things around real quick, making sure it's the Golden Deer. So, I've been playing a decent amount, and part of what I was playing was spent, well, dates all the way back to when I started part 1 with the Black Eagles, back when I had just finished up, what was it called? Just finished up the Blue Lions route. So, some of these conversations I don't remember, so as a way to introduce you to the characters if this is your first time interacting with them outside of watching their annoying character quirks, or, well, we'll see what happens. I've probably revealed my hand too much when it comes to the characters, but you know what? Let us begin.
Professor, I understand that you were looking to speak with me. Perhaps you would like some insight on how to write your next lecture? While I do have a great many ideas, it would be inappropriate to... Oh, am I mistaken? If that's the case, then what can I do for you?
It's about the female students.
The ladies have complained? To you? About me? Preposterous. There must be some mistake. I am the heir of the noble House Gloucester. It is bred in me to treat all people with respect. Rest assured, you will not find anyone more upstanding than yours truly. Perhaps the issue is that the splendor of my noble presence is driving the ladies to distraction. If that is the crime, I do confess. I hope I've not troubled the ladies' hearts unduly.
It is your advances they seem to find troubling.
Outrageous! That's absurd! Who would dare to allege such slander?
Should I jump to your conversation with Dorothea? A number of female students, actually.
Of all the... Well, I suppose I have offered several of them the honor of dining with me. It is impossible to tell if even the most well-bred young lady is a suitable companion for me, merely by the sight of her. So, in order for us to get to know each other properly, it is appropriate that we dine together. Thus far, they have all declined, oddly enough. For some reason, they seem to be exercising some form of restraint when speaking with me. I would never insist, of course. But I will admit I have, on occasion, after a day's pause, issued repeat invitations, in the fashion and style of a gentleman.
That's the problem.
What? Ridiculous! Dinner invitations from me a problem? The very idea. I am a perfect gentleman, the son of a noble line. I've a wit like a rapier, and it takes but a glance to see that I'm gorgeous. No, I cannot believe such a thing. Are you sure this isn't the result of some sort of scheme?
Who died and made you Claude?
It cannot be otherwise. Someone has clearly devised a conspiracy against me.
Actually, wait, you might think Claude's responsible knowing you.
Someone who envies my position, who seeks to soil my sterling reputation with foul rumors. How crude. Please, Professor, it is beneath you to fall victim to such petty and obscene tactics. I implore you to take greater care in the future. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a great deal of work to do. Farewell.
Yeah, first impressions are very important, and honestly, almost half of the Golden Deer House did not give a first impression. That's why I went with blue lines first. Well, part of the reason.
Professor, have you been looking for me again? I am very busy, you know. I must insist that disruptions for light-hearted chats of this kind be kept to a minimum.
I've been getting more complaints.
What did I tell you about falling victim to such salacious and slanderous rumors? As I've told you, there is obviously a conspiracy against me. There is no manner in which I could possibly be considered bothersome.
The girls actually do seem bothered.
Professor, I assure you, you have been deceived. My adversary has poisoned the hearts of these ladies against me. The plot goes deeper than I thought.
There is no conspiracy. This is real.
But... if you truly do insist... Please understand, Professor. I am not some scoundrel out for conquest.
Yeah, we know. You're not Sylvain.
I am attempting to fulfill my duty as heir of House Gloucester. It is my responsibility to continue our noble line by finding a suitable lady to be my wife. It is a rigorous process. My family has the very highest standards for appearance, grace, temperament, and pedigree.
So, commoners are excluded?
Typically, yes, even if others are sometimes critical of that notion. For the nobility, marriage is not merely a union of individuals, it is also a union of families. It would not benefit House Gloucester to be tied to a family of powerless commoners, would it? To achieve supremacy, it is necessary for my line to be tied to that of an influential family. That is the best path to peace and prosperity for all. So, as you can see, the future of the Alliance rests on my shoulders.
That's quite an obligation.
If it is a burden, it is one I am all too familiar with. We nobles are born to this duty. That being said, to avoid misunderstandings, I shall restrain myself until things calm down. I would rather not cause trouble for you after all.
I don't like you. I think that was the point, but you know what? I wasn't planning on doing this so early, but you know what? You're gonna share in my torment. Actually, yeah, let's do Dorothea first, just so that you can appreciate how obnoxious this person is. I don't even care that it's the Black Eagle border.
Dorothea, your beauty puts even the most pristine flower to shame.
Ah, Lawrence, as silver-tongued as ever.
Oh, not at all. I must bid you good day.
I see the rumors are true. What a shame.
Rumors? About me? Whatever do you mean?
Why, that you're always ready to flirt. Unless she's a commoner. Then you'll bid her good day as quickly as possible. Like you did with me just now. Are we so unpleasant to speak to, us commoners?
Yes.
That is a rather pointed question, but I do happen to have an answer for you. As the heir to House Gloucester, I am in search of a bride of suitable social status. I seek to build upon the honor of my house, and to do that, I require a noble wife.
I'd think you could find plenty of suitable women, even among the masses.
Do not be so certain. A lady who marries me must be prepared to enter noble society, whether she wishes to or not. It is a complex web of etiquette and expectation, not a world one could easily step into without the proper upbringing. What's more, House Gloucester would hardly see much benefit were I to join myself to the household of a commoner.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, I suppose that means any friendship between you and I is doomed as well.
Isn't that a rather excessive conclusion?
You want someone to birth your house's next generation. I want someone to share my life with. I'm not even an option in your eyes, and you're hardly viable in mine. However, we're all friends here, aren't we? So I suppose politeness at the very least is in order.
I really should follow that one through a little further, but you know what? Ooh, these are amusing. These are highly amusing.
To find the analog of your beauty in nature, I can turn only to the lily. Only that flower is so sweet and so delicate as to approach your loveliness. Why, just look at these soft, delicate fingertips you have. It is as though they could blossom into fragrant lilies before my very eyes.
You're weird.
If you're so wild about flowers, why don't you try a flower shop?
Thank you.
Oh, wow. That was... I'm sorry I saw that, but I am so glad I saw that.
Oh, did you not realize? I was only testing her. Any woman who is taken in by such simple flattery is ill-suited to my noble disposition.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you explained it, because I thought you just got rejected. Just flat out, no way to make yourself feel better about it, rejected. And the reason, your nobleness, is because that is really not the way you go about hitting on a girl.
Oh, is it not? And I suppose you consider yourself an expert on the subject.
Pay attention, kid. Maybe you'll learn something. When I saw you, I just had to come over and say hello, because finding you here feels like fate. Maybe we could go get some tea, get to know each other better.
I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Someone who cares. Please excuse me.
Exquisite. Simply masterful. When is the wedding?
That's weird. Girls usually fall for that speech. You must have spooked her.
To think that the noble House Gautier would be blessed with such a graceful and charming heir.
Please, I'm a much better heir than a self-important failure like you.
This is not worth my time.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I don't mind you clashing with people. I'm okay with this. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a lot I still have to get through. Oh boy. Well,
I just wanted to say that I've been watching and I'm really impressed by how hard you work. Very dedicated for someone so young.
Oh, thank you.
at least it's not like Cynthia you're
I
doing
really
that to.
admire your everything. But you know, everybody needs to relax now and then. I was wondering if maybe you and me could...
I'm quite busy. I should get going. Bye.
That was difficult to watch.
Lawrence, ever since you started hanging around, I've had no luck. Usually, if I show a girl I'm mature, noble, and interested, she's an easy catch.
Your logic is sound, I will admit, but your results are less than entirely convincing. Honestly, all this talk of maturity and experience from a shallow person like you is rather laughable.
Shallow? What? Like your nobleness as some properly cultured man of the world?
Naturally, my bearing is as elegant and refined as silk. Observe.
And here
You
comes
seem
the
to be
failure.
Deep in thought. Is there something on your mind? Please, allow me to lend you my ear. I will gladly shoulder any of your burdens.
Oh, thank you. But it's not something I really want to talk about.
So harsh. Even the slightest worry, I would have been happy to listen.
You went too far in.
Why, yes. Your silky bearing was quite impressive. You're always going on about nobility, but that's no way to win a woman. Your problem, and I may have told you this before, at least twice, your problem is you're pretentious.
That's rich, coming from you. Your bearing is so flippant that you utterly fail to gain a lady's trust. How can you not see that?
All I'm failing to see is you getting a girl's attention.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm sorry. That was mean. And you're probably right about me not being serious enough.
I will concede, I feel the same. Enough at least to keep your advice at the back of my mind. I was a touch too stubborn.
It's the same in battle, isn't it? If you don't bend a little, you fail.
Even so,
Yeah, with that being said,
I will outclass you, Sylvain.
bring it on, Lawrence.
Oh boy. I kind of wish there was an ace conversation associated with that, but... How many more do... You know what, let's torture myself. Probably not gonna go at these all day.
That fragrance! Could it be? Ferdinand, I cannot help but notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means, allow me to pour.
What a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Why do I do
Such
this
a
to
precise,
myself?
poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well.
Okay, you know what, this is too much. No, I'm gonna spare you from this. You know what, let's focus on the good ones. Let's see, what's one of the amusing ones? I guess I'll focus on Byleth's interactions with everyone, because that's probably the easiest way to get a sense for the characters. And that is the goal starting up, and I do want to get on with my life. Yeah. Get on with it.
Whew. Oh, Professor, are you here to train?
I came to train.
I knew it! Gotta train daily. Legs, back, chest, arms, abs. Gotta work them all, right? I just finished training, and I feel great. Check me out! Are my muscles bulging?
I guess so.
Another day of training, and my muscles are ready to burst. Bulging muscles means strength. I have to be strong if I want to be a proper knight. And I have to eat if I want to keep training. Time to feast.
Isn't studying also important for a knight?
Ah, way to hit me where it hurts, Professor. I know I'll be in trouble if I don't train my brain, too. Anyone who can't get tactics can't be a proper knight. It's just, I'm no good at remembering that kind of stuff. And training my brain instead of my body makes me sleepy. What if I start training twice as hard? Then I should only have to study half as much, right?
You'll never be a proper knight if you don't study.
You really think so? I can't let that happen. I guess I have no choice. I'll prove I can do it. Wish me luck, Professor. For my training and for my studies.
I'm trying to remember where this ends up, because I remember that one, but I can't remember the next one. Probably more training.
Great timing, Professor.
Ah,
I
right,
was just
this
going
one.
to come find you.
I think. Yes?
Are you busy? I have a question about formations. I don't understand them at all. Are the speed of battle and the terrain connected somehow? There's too much to memorize.
You don't have to remember everything.
I don't? Then what do I have to know? I think I understand the basics. To start, you just... Ah, okay. I think I've got it. Thanks for the help, Professor. Brains and brawn. You've really got it all. With your help, I should have no trouble becoming a proper knight.
Why do you want to be a knight?
Huh? Didn't I tell you? My parents were merchants of the Alliance. They died in an accident. That's why it's up to me to look after my little sis. I'm not great with bookkeeping, so I don't think I'd make a good merchant. I talked to Grandpa, and he suggested I become a knight. So I sold all our valuables and used the money to pay my way into the academy. My sis won't survive if I get kicked out, so I can't give up now.
Did you consider being a mercenary?
I might have tried being a mercenary if I didn't have my little sis to look after. I probably shouldn't say this, but being a mercenary does sound like an easier life. Mercenaries have no responsibilities, and no one else to worry about. But someone's got to take care of my little sis, so that's out of the question. Serving as a knight in a noble house is more secure, and you don't have to worry about dying unless there's a war. My sis has been through so much. I don't want her to have to worry about me. Hey, do you have any siblings, Professor?
Nope.
Then you probably think I'm missing out on my freedom, having to support her, huh? But working hard for my sister isn't too bad. Call it a burden, call it a challenge. If it makes my sister happy, I'm happy too. You should ask your father to have some more kids. Anyway, that's why I've got to become a proper knight.
I think that's out of the question for Gerald, but shh. Alright, so honestly, I think I'll talk about that later. Pretty sure I've seen this first one, but just in case. Actually, yeah, I know I've shown this first one. Because Ignatz was one of the few that I actually was able to recruit.
All right, time to sneak off and do some painting.
Have I seen this one too?
Professor, such lovely weather today, huh? I was, just about to go for a walk.
Why are you bringing paper?
What, this? No, it's, I'm sorry, Professor. I'll admit it. I was going to do some painting. You remember the place where we talked before? I've been painting the scenery there. I'm still keeping up with my academics and training, of course. I just paint in my spare time, as a change of pace.
I'm not accusing you.
Oh, you're not? Ah, well, yes, I suppose you're not. I may have gotten ahead of myself. I'm sorry for panicking there. Honestly, I'm just worried that my father will find out that I've been painting.
I'm not going to tell him.
Of course. Why would you go out of your way to tell him that? Completely illogical of me. But it seems I've developed a bit of a complex about it. My father's not a fan of my artistic pastime, you see. We're a merchant family, and my older brother is set to inherit the business. As for me, my father decided I should be a knight. That's why I'm at the academy. Painting won't help me become a knight. It's a waste of time.
Is that why you feel guilty about it?
Well, yes. I feel like I'm betraying my parents. I hear the business has been slow for them over the past few years. If I become a knight for an influential noble house, I could use my connections to help support them. My father was determined to send me here. He must have been, considering the enormous amount of money he spent. I don't think I'm well suited to being a knight. My parents sent me to the academy for their sake, not my own. When I think about how hard my family is working just to stay in business, how can I sit idly by? All of which is just to say that painting will have to remain my little hobby. Nothing more. Not that I could make a career out of it even if I wanted to. That's just a fantasy.
I'll have to pull up a different I guess while I'm on that note, I may as well pull up a couple different conversations regarding Ignatz. Because that's not entirely true. Let's see if I can remember. I think it might be specifically the conversation with Lawrence.
Ignatz, hello. What are you up to?
You frightened me.
Oh, calm yourself. What is it that you're drawing?
I thought I'd jot down some sketches of everyone while they're training. And then later on, I'll try to practice their moves on my own. But I can't really concentrate on sketching if someone's watching me.
Just sketches, Well, even so, they're lovely. There's such life in them. It's as if they're moving on the page before my very eyes.
You really think so? You know, I always hoped to be an artist.
With skills like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make a living of it. And your demeanor is different when you draw. Bolder somehow. Ah, yes, there's an idea. Perhaps in the future you will join my retinue as my personal painter. Wait, have we not discussed this arrangement already? I had decided to take you into my service as a knight, had I not?
Becoming a knight was my father's idea. Being an artist is out of the question, I'm afraid.
So you've said. Well then, I suppose you shall simply have to become a knight who also paints.
A knight who also paints?
I have seen your talent and can attest to it. Your gifts are too great to wither away in obscurity. A knight with the rare gift of artistic talent would be most welcome in my employ.
I had never thought of that. Still, I don't understand why you'd want me as one of your knights. As a fighter, I'm unremarkable.
There is more to knighthood than combat. Courtly manners, a dignified bearing, and an aesthetic sensibility are also essential. A knight with an eye for art and the talent to create it is sure to improve the image of the nobility.
Lawrence, I'd never have guessed you were prone to such eccentric ideas. Thank you. I'm feeling a little more confident after hearing your kind words.
Oh, no cause for thanks. It is a noble's duty to provide guidance to those in need.
Okay, so I guess that ties into what I'm sort of drafted for the review at this point, because it seems like if you're willing to stick with someone for long enough, you can get a certain sense of, well, see the better side of their character after a while. The problem for me is that I saw the Golden Deer twice over, well, the characters from the Golden Deer twice over in part 1 with only seeing their quirks and none of the backstory behind it, which meant for characters like Lawrence and Hilda, as we'll see later, they ended up not appealing very much. And it seems like despite the outward demeanor of being very uptight, Lawrence does seem to have an eye for his fellow man. It's just something that gets, well, I don't want to necessarily say lost in the shuffle, but still. I do not understand it.
Yes! Time for food! Hey, Ignatz! Is this seat taken?
Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm done eating, so you can sit here if you like.
Really? But there's still food on your plate.
It's fine. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I guess I'll be heading off.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ignatz! Want to train with me?
Oh my, that equipment's looking rusty. Let me fetch some oil.
What's the matter? It always looks like that. Come on, we'll take care of it later.
Nope, you have to do it as soon as you notice. There's oil in the warehouse. I'll be right back.
You're not coming back, are you?
Hey, Ignatz!
Hello, Raphael.
Are you busy? I need to talk to you.
No, that's... Oh, almost forgot. It's time to return this book to the library. I'll just...
Hey, hold up. Are you seriously gonna keep running away from me?
What? No, I'm not running.
You're
Yes,
a terrible
you are.
liar.
Every time I try to talk to you, you make up some excuse and run. What's going on? You were a lot friendlier to me when we were kids. You were always so excited to show me all the neat stuff you had whenever I came to visit. We'd play hide and seek with my little sis, draw pictures, and do other fun stuff too. Remember all that?
Things can't be the way they were. It's regrettable, but it's the truth.
Regrettable? What's there to regret?
I mean, you know, what happened to your parents? My parents are the reason your parents died.
What are you talking about? My parents died in an accident while traveling for work.
Maybe so, but they were taking over for mine, because they had other business that day and couldn't go themselves. So, they recommended yours to fill in for them.
Huh. I didn't know that. But what does that have to do with our friendship?
No, but see,
Oh, I see. But we're done talking about this. You gotta stop beating yourself up over it. It was an accident.
He's just putting on a brave face. No one is that forgiving.
Okay, so that's... I probably won't show the beat support because it's pretty much rehashing the same point, but honestly, how many times are there going to be the, oh, my parents did something to your parents, or blah, blah, blah? How many times are they going to do that? I mean, you've got Petra and Caspar, you've got Ignaz and Raphael, and I'm pretty sure someone from House Regan was killed in that same accident. Just... yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's been shown. Alright, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's worth sharing. I guess we'll focus on Marianne next.
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, I suppose you came by to pray too?
Just passing by.
I see. Well, that's why I'm here.
What were you praying for?
Oh, nothing specific. I only call upon the goddess to give thanks, or perhaps to ask for protection. Anyhow, I should be on my way.
Do you have a moment to chat?
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't really know what to say. I'm not very good at talking to people. The truth is, I didn't interact with people too often before I came here.
Why is that?
Oh, no particular reason. I'm simply not very good at it. That's just how I am.
Is that so? Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't waste your time worrying about me. Please, just ignore me. I, have to be going now. Goodbye, Professor.
There's more to that, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's see what the B support has to say for itself.
Professor? There's something I need to say.
I'm happy to listen.
Thank you. How should I put this? I don't seem to be getting along with everyone. I don't contribute much either. Am I a nuisance to you, Professor? If so, I'll leave. Of course, my adoptive father may not understand, but if I must...
Your adoptive father?
Oh, my adoptive father is one of the new nobles of the Alliance. His territory is to the north. He was a distant relative who took me in after my parents vanished. He's blessed with great drive and ambition. Some may go so far as to call it avarice. He wishes to marry me off to a powerful noble. That's why he sent me to the academy. If I left now, I'm sure he'd have a strong opinion about it. Sorry. I strayed away from the topic. I'm not good at telling stories either.
I understand.
Good. I'm glad. So, as I was saying, are you sure I'm not bothering you, Professor?
You're no bother at all.
Oh, I'm so grateful to hear you say that. What I'm trying to say is, you should keep your distance. I'm more trouble than I'm worth.
I won't agree to that.
You only say that because you don't know the real me. I'm sorry, I have to go.
Still getting no answers. So, I'm trying to remember. There's one conversation where she basically says that her crest is a bad luck charm, as it were. I'm just trying to remember. I think it was it might have been one of the conversations with Lysithea, but honestly, I think those two are worth hearing anyway.
Oh, Marianne, there you are! Lysithea? What's all this commotion? What's happening?
There's been an accident at the training grounds. A spell gone amok. Come on, we need all the help we can get over there.
Oh no, but I don't know how
We could really use your help before things get out of hand. Come on, hurry!
I don't think I would be much help.
Oh, for the goddess's sake! You won't know unless you try, will you? Don't decide you're of no use without even giving it a shot. Fine then. Forget it. I'll go on my own. You can just stand here and stare at the wall.
I'm sorry. I can't do anything right.
Oh. Perhaps I took it too far.
Yeah, thank...
Hey, Marianne? Do you have a minute? Listen, I'm sorry about all the stuff I said earlier. The situation was urgent, and I'll admit I wasn't thinking clearly. I shouldn't have been so callous. I hurt your feelings, didn't I?
No, it's fine. I'm the one to blame.
Huh? But, hey, are you sure you're all...
I'm the one who should apologize. All I did was get in your way. You would have made it to the training grounds much sooner if I hadn't slowed you down.
Huh? Wait a second.
It's all my fault. It's always my fault. The accident was probably my fault too.
You're being so... negative. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, this definitely won't be the one to say what's going on, but...
Marianne, do you mind if I ask you about something?
Yes?
It's about animal behavior. Among us all, you surely know the most about animals. I've read that in outdoor battles, wild animals can sometimes cause unexpected confusion. What do you think would be the best strategy to... are you listening, Marianne?
I was listening. I just don't think I can really...
For crying out loud! Why do you always have to admit defeat before even giving yourself a chance?
My advice would probably just put everyone in danger. You'd be better off without me.
This is beyond ridiculous. You're impossible. You seem convinced you're some sort of cursed being, destined to bring doom and gloom to anyone you encounter.
Well...
I need to find that conversation, don't I?
Why do you have such a terrible opinion of yourself? How could you possibly be so dense?
I just...
Just nothing. Now you listen to me for a moment. I can see that you have some deep-seated turmoil you struggle with. I'll have you know I have quite a few issues of my own, perhaps more grave than yours, if you can imagine.
Really?
Yes, but I'm not the only one who has such troubles to contend with. Everyone does. That's why it's so important to maintain a positive outlook and do what we can. Each time we find the light in the dark, we grow, bit by bit. And without growth, what's the point in carrying on?
Lysithea, I envy your confidence and strength.
Don't envy me. Instead, just choose to find the positive, won't you?
Yes. Well, maybe someday.
The time is now! This is your moment!
Oh, okay.
That's more like it. Now to start, why don't you help me out by answering my questions about wild animals?
I'll certainly try my best.
The one time when Lysithia's, I guess, caustic nature actually made a difference? Trying to think. What was the conversation where it cropped up? I can't remember. Was it with Claude or... No, it definitely wasn't Hilda. Might have been Ignatz? Let's find out.
Is that everything?
Yes, that's the last of them. Thank you, Marianne. Just when I thought all the laundry was dry, the wind got stronger, and by the time I realized what was happening, there were clothes dancing across the sky.
That must have been frustrating to watch.
I didn't imagine they would float all the way to the stables. Thanks again for helping me pick them up.
It was no trouble. They landed right at my feet.
Well, now I can hang it all back up before sunset. Everything should be dry by the day's end. All right, I should get to...
Are you all right?
Uh-huh. The hamper's just a little heavier than it looks. Do you think you could give me a hand? Whew, we got here just in time. Thanks for the help hanging everything up.
It was nothing.
Huh.
Yeah?
What is it?
I'm sorry. I know I'm not much fun to be around. I'm not very good at small talk either.
Oh, no, that's all right. After all, just look over there.
Huh? Oh, the flowers are lovely.
They were mere buds until just the other day. Now look at those gorgeous blooms.
How wonderful.
If we'd been chatting away, we might never have noticed them. Sure, the laundry was an ordeal, but at least there was a silver lining.
Alright, this definitely isn't it. Still a touching conversation, so I'll take it. Well, since that I can't find it, I guess suffice to say is that Marianne sees her crest as a bad luck charm, to a degree where she won't even countenance the idea of Hanneman taking a look. So, before we go, I find these two conversations highly amusing.
That's odd. I'm sure I just had it a moment ago.
Ah,
ghost!
Actually...
Goddess, protect me! Huh?
Ash? Does this key belong to you? I found it by the door.
Marianne! I'm so sorry. Yes, that's mine. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And my apologies for scaring you.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry. Kind of ridiculous, mistaking a friend for a ghost.
No, that's okay. I guess I do look like one.
No, of course you don't. It's just, in the dark, with your head down like that, and with your hair covering your eyes,
Does that make me look scary?
No, please stop.
I'm sorry that I look so ghastly.
Why not just lift your head up a little?
Up? You mean like this?
Yes, that's so much better. With some light on your face, you don't look scary at all. That's great. You look completely normal now. Actually, you're pretty cute.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Nothing. Just keep your head up and smile. I promise you'll never be mistaken for a ghost again.
Keep my head up and smile? I'm sorry, but I don't think I can.
What? Hey, wait! Was it something I said?
Go talk to Sylvain, Ash. You're too... No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that, no. It's too good.
Oh, is that Marianne? No, sorry. It's just you turned so quickly. It gave me a start. I don't mean to interrupt your prayers, but what's with that posture? Don't you think lowering your head so much might, I don't know, offend the goddess? Maybe, spook her a little?
I'm not praying, only confessing.
Confessing? What are you confessing for?
For everything about me.
That can't possibly be necessary. There's no way you're as bad as you make it seem. I've seen how kind you are with the horses, and I've noticed you're always sensitive to everyone's tastes when you cook.
But that's...
Yeah, well, if either of us is going to confess, it should be me. I used to be a thief. I may have only stolen because I was poor and starving, but it was still wrong. I'm only even here because a kindly noble helped me. He gave me a second chance, and now I eat well every day. I'm doing all I can to make the most of it. You're a noble yourself, aren't you? The daughter of Margrave Edmund, I think. And if you're a noble, that means... Do you happen to have a crest?
A crest? I do, but it's...
I knew it! That's great, Marianne!
There's nothing great about it.
Please, don't be modest. It's an extraordinary gift. You should be proud of it. If I had one, I'd use it to make sure my brother and sister never had to live in poverty. Think about all the good you could do for the world with your power.
No, I can't. You don't understand. This crest is worthless. I'm sorry, but I must go.
No, not again. I'm not good at this.
No, you're not. You need to talk to Sylvain. Actually, that's a terrible idea, but you know what? I would find it amusing if you talked to Sylvain, so therefore, you should talk to Sylvain. Alright, let's see. I'm probably not going to do too much looking at Hilda. Let's see, I've seen the conversation. Actually, have I shown these? Apparently so, but... Actually, no. If I had recruited Lysithea, that would have been in part 1, so I guess I haven't shown these on stream yet.
Honestly, what do they all take me for? I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I have shown this one. Alright, I'm not going to worry too much about this. Are there any conversations in particular I should pay attention to? Probably not. I think I'm good there. So, I guess, to get a sense for Hilda's personality...
Hey, Professor! What are you doing daydreaming in a place like this? It's lucky. As spacey as you are, you're always reliable in a pinch.
You were daydreaming too.
Not as much as you. It's hard to tell what's going on in that skull of yours. Your expression is always blank. Come on, smile! I was just playing around. Don't get mad. By the way, in the next battle, may I focus on logistical support? Off the battlefield, there's no use having a weakling like me in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I only made you my armored unit.
And it would bring down morale if I were killed.
You're not a weakling.
Have you even seen me, Professor? Look at these noodly little arms!
Yeah, I'm surprised you're my armored unit too, but that's the world we live in. Them's the bricks. What? I recruited Ferdinand pretty late, and there's no way I'm gonna make him a great knight or anything of use for this round.
I should be cheering everyone on from the sidelines. It'll certainly improve the boys' morale, don't you think?
Why don't you want to fight?
Because even if I do, I won't be of any help.
Who died and made you Marianne?
My big brother is the type of person who's supposed to be on the battlefield. For me, it's just a waste of energy. It's pointless. Everyone's cut out for something different. The right person for the right task, you know?
Which is why you're my armored
Please,
unit.
Professor. Keep me off the battlefield, and maybe I won't tell everyone you're daydreaming.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Rhea will execute me on the spot when she hears that I've dozed off a little bit. Well, you get the point.
Hey, Professor. There are a lot of hardworking people here at the Academy, huh? Even Claude. He acts carefree, but secretly he's so serious. Everyone focuses on training without even needing to be told. Maybe they think I must protect my friends, even if I have to risk my neck.
You won't protect your friends?
Of course I'll try to protect them, but I don't understand why anyone would want to risk their life for someone else. When you die, no matter how you died, it's over. To me, it's more important to enjoy life. We only live once, after all. It's a waste to spend all your time working and being responsible, right?
No.
Well, no matter what people may think, I'm going to keep being me.
Well, what do you have to live for?
So in our next
That's the
battle,
whole point behind
I'll
responsibility.
support everyone from the sidelines.
No.
Aw, come on, please.
I didn't even need to respond for that one. Just no.
How about I do something for you as a way of saying thanks? Oh, I know! I'll let you join me for dinner in the city. Everyone would be jealous, you know? They'd all love to spend time with me.
I interact with you in the classroom, and that's far enough.
Okay, just think on it.
Alright, I won't torture you with Hilda too much. I'll just focus on, I don't know, a couple of the more interesting ones. Actually, her interactions with Cyril are interesting, actually. Wait, she can interact with Seta?
Hey, Cyril, what are you up to? Working?
How's that gonna work?
You're in the way, Hilda. Move.
How rude. I'm not in the way.
Are you just here to goof off?
No, I'm here to feed the horses, actually.
Uh-huh. Where's the fodder, then?
I wasn't sure where to find it. Can you help with that?
I'll take care of it. I'm cleaning the place anyways.
Oh, thanks. It's great to have you on the job. I know you'll handle it perfectly.
Yeah, well, I don't like it when I feel like I'm not doing my part.
You're always so focused on the task at hand. Sometimes I almost forget you're Almyran. I always thought they were a rough and unreliable sort of people. Though you're not really like the rest of them. You seem normal for the most part.
Rough and unreliable, huh?
My family has to fight against Almyran sometimes. Not that my father or brother ever clued me in on what the battles were like. But I do know that armies from Almyra will attack without reason and break treaties and tell lies. Everyone says they're a bunch of brutes.
Yeah? Huh.
Am I boring you? I'm talking about your people.
Those aren't my people. I was just born there.
Okay, let's turn the tables. How do the people of Fodlan seem to you, from an Almyran perspective?
Huh.
That look on your face. Are you okay?
I can't tell you what I think of folks from Fodlan. I don't really got an impression of them altogether.
What's that supposed to mean?
There's all sorts of different people everywhere. You can't say everybody of one place is any one thing. It's no different when you're talking about Fodlan or Almyra or any place else. And wherever you go, you see people in power keep the weak ones down. The only difference far as I'm concerned is, one place has Lady Rhea, and the other don't.
Alright, simple enough.
Ah, Cyril. Cleaning again, I see.
Hilda, you're in the way. Move it.
I'm supposed to refill the horses' water troughs, but I can't find the buckets. I was told that they'd be in the usual place. What's the usual place?
Maybe you'd know where that is if you did your job sometime.
You know, Cyril, I don't want to interrupt you while you're cleaning, but...
Come on, the buckets are over near the wall, where they always are, because I put them there.
Okay. Thanks for your help. You're pretty strong. I bet you're tired, though. Come on, let's rest a bit.
Okay, just for a minute, though. I got more work to do.
Yeah?
I'm not a fan of awkward silences. Anything interesting happen lately?
Figured you were the one with something to say. Quiet don't bother me.
I need an interesting topic for this letter I'm writing to my brother. I'm stumped.
Your brother write to you a lot?
constantly. Yeah, he must be bored. He's always going on about how worried he is for me. What's worse, if I take too long to reply, he gets more worried and writes more about it.
Write about your life, maybe. You know, stuff like, I got real lazy again today.
Ouch.
Or maybe, can you believe I still don't know where they put the water buckets?
Ow.
You're mean. Do you really think that little of me?
Yes.
You're a lazy gal who gets people to do her work for her. I never knew anybody like that in Elmira.
Oh, really? So Lady Rhea isn't the only difference between Fodlan and Elmira after all?
I don't like comparing Lady Rhea with you, but I figure you're right. But you know what's real weird? Nobody seems to mind picking up your slack. Even me.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing worth repeating. Anyway, I gotta get back to work.
He's such a diligent boy. I don't think I've ever seen someone from Fodlan work that hard. Oh, hang on. I never got an idea from him about what to write in my letter. Ugh. I guess there's nothing for it. Maybe I can just write about Cyril.
Alrighty, so I think that's probably enough for Hilda. I don't want to torture you by watching her be manipulative. And that's really the only word I've got for it. Manipulative. My gosh. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I've shown everything interesting when it comes to Leonie. Because dealt with her a decent amount. So I guess we'll go ahead and see to Claude, because this is what I've been waiting on for quite a while, actually, because it seems like the Golden Deer route really is Claude's story in the same way that the Blue Lines is really Dimitri's story. Because it seems like I still don't know what exactly Claude is after, because it seems like he's looking for a lot of different... Well, it seems like he's on a quest for truth, but I'm not sure to what end. For the sake of the truth itself, or is there some ulterior motive? Knowing Claude, he's probably got something in mind, but it's led to a lot of questions as to who we are and just... I don't know. Even despite that, he's a lot of fun to interact with, so I'll probably go through most of these just because he's a lot of fun to interact with.
Hey, Teach. I see you're as stony-faced as usual. I can't tell if you're feeling resigned or if you're just lost in thought. Or maybe you simply don't care about anything that's going on. Oh, sorry. I really didn't mean to be rude. I just find you fascinating. Actually, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Can you spare some time?
Sure.
That's just the sort of attitude I'd expect from a new teacher. Speaking of, before you came here, you were a mercenary, right? Always getting your hands dirty on the battlefield and whatnot? It's a bit unusual that you suddenly decided to become a teacher one day. In any case, I've been meaning to ask, did your father teach you how to fight?
Yes, he did.
I figured. Your father used to lead the knights, didn't he? And I hear he was a legendary mercenary as well. It must have been hard on your mother when you followed in your father's footsteps and became a mercenary too.
I never knew my mother.
I see. I suppose you grew up moving from battlefield to battlefield with your father then. You know, for someone who's right around the same age as me, you certainly have an unusual amount of composure. I guess it's only natural that you'd be different from young nobles who grew up in the lap of luxury.
You don't seem like a noble either.
Well, even so, I am heir to House Regan, the leading family of the Alliance. But I didn't exactly grow up in luxury like most people of noble blood. Hey, maybe that's why you and I get along so well. Folks like us should stick together. As house leader, I'll do all I can to help you out. We can start by making time for more little chats like this.
Alright.
Hey, Teach, hold on a minute, okay? I'm gonna have this cleared up in no time.
What are you doing?
I came across a fascinating book about poisons, and so I wanted to try mixing one up myself. And done. What do you think of that, Teach? A colorless, odorless poison.
Dissolves instantly in any liquid.
Care to test it out for me?
And is one of the most deadly poisons known to man. What does it do?
In 2 days' time, you'll have a terrible case of, let's call it stomach trouble. It's a peaceful poison, so you'll live, but you'll certainly be inconvenienced. I hear your silent question, Teach. Why the delay? That's so it can be used even if you don't have access to the target when you need the poison to take effect. Naturally, I have no immediate plans for this stuff. I suppose I just felt like broadening the old horizons a bit. When devising schemes, it's best to have as many options at your disposal as possible. Expanding those options is kind of a hobby for me.
Why such a dangerous hobby?
Well, I grew up in an environment where it was necessary to think that way. It's like I told you before, I wasn't born into a life of luxury. Ever since I was a child, I've always been seen as different from those around me. An outsider of sorts. I've been resented and hated. There have even been attempts on my life. I don't believe I've earned such treatment, but that's how it goes for people like me.
I don't think of you as an outsider.
Thanks, Teach. You know, in many ways, I'm just a normal person like everyone else. But in the right environment, anyone could be seen as an outsider. It can become overwhelming. And that's why I kept running, kept fighting. As a kid, I spent a lot of time licking my wounds and coming up with schemes, trying to keep my nose out of trouble while plotting against my enemies. My parents always told me I wouldn't grow stronger if I didn't learn to fight my own battles. And so in the end, I did. And I grew up to be as independent, as self-reliant as my parents always wished for me to be. Lucky me, right?
You've been through a lot.
If anyone knows what I'm talking about, it must be you, eh, Teach? I get the feeling you know what it's like to be an outsider. The moment I first laid eyes on you, I knew you weren't like everyone else. People don't care for folks like that. You do well to watch your back. On the bright side, that's also part of the reason that I find you so interesting. Hey, Teach, do you believe in gods? I don't necessarily mean the goddess of the Seros religion, just gods in general. Do you believe that incredible beings who control the fates of all really exist?
I do.
That's not the answer I was expecting. Though, honestly, I've recently become a bit of a believer myself. I've always hated the idea of praying to a god. After all, you can only really rely on yourself. I still believe that. You can't win a war by leaving your fate in the hands of a god. Only tangible facts can really decide a war. Which side has the most troops, the best tactics, the better organization and planning. Of course, miracles can happen. And by that, I mean things that are completely outside of your control. Things that only seem to add up if you believe in the concept of fate. Things like, well, like meeting you, for example.
What do you mean?
You just seem sort of impossible. I think everyone would agree with that. You can wield the sword of the Creator, you're a tactical genius, and you have this strange ability to earn the trust of anyone you cross paths with. Before I met you, I never imagined that it was possible for someone like you to exist. And yet, now that I know you, your presence in my life has quickly become invaluable. In fact, it's hard to imagine making my dreams come true without your help. Because of that, I can't believe for a second that our meeting was just a coincidence. That means it must have been fate. Maybe it was a miracle. Or maybe some god empathized with me in my dreams.
Some god?
Again, I don't mean the goddess of Fodlan. Though, I suppose it may be hard for you to grasp what I'm talking about. People all over the world have different ideas about who or what the gods are, right? Even in distant lands across the ocean or over the mountains. They have gods who see the world as a whole, who don't care about Fodlan's borders, who don't meddle in our affairs, who don't grant life or take it away. And maybe, sometimes, they'll make a miracle happen. A god like that, that's the sort of god I think I could believe in.
I think I understand.
Careful, Teach. You'll anger the followers of Seros if you say things like that. I'm just speaking my mind, that's all. I think people should be free to believe in whatever gods they want. If a person believes in a god and that god becomes a support system for them, that's a good thing. That's what a god should be. Anyway, maybe I've overstepped a bit.
Edelgard certainly think you certainly have, but shh. It doesn't matter.
I knew you'd understand. In any case, let's keep this conversation between the two of us, yeah?
Oh, don't worry, Edelgard will have something to say on it. Alright, so... probably not going to focus on too many of these, but... honestly, the conversations outside of the house have been fascinating.
This looks like an ideal place to take a nap. Only one way to know for sure. And there's a nice breeze today, too.
Claude?
Huh?
Why are you taking a sleep on the ground, Claude?
Is that Petra? Where are you? Were you up in that tree the whole time? I couldn't feel your presence at all. Amazing.
It is safe to take sleep in the tree's top. Why would you choose the dangerous ground instead?
Your logic is sound, I'll give you that. But how is one supposed to get up there without losing the sleepies from the effort?
I do not know what is meant by the sleepies, but getting in the tree's top is easy. And you will be using all of your energy, so that good sleep will find you up in the tree.
I see. That makes a certain kind of sense, but it's not as relaxing as a good ground sleep.
Give it some trying. And do not think with too much hardness when you return to the ground. Feel it. If you stop for thinking, your arms will get heavy.
That is way more thought than I'd hoped to give this nap of mine. But I'm not one to give up before even trying. Here goes nothing. I can do this!
I have not known a noble here who can climb trees. Is this a weakness of Fodlan nobles?
Yes.
No, not a weakness. How do I... Ah!
You should be quitting. It is a danger to be falling from such a height.
I think that's enough for today. This might sound like an excuse, but we don't have a lot of tall trees where I grew up. This is all new to me.
You should take your sleep on the ground. I will take mine in the tree.
You won that round, tree.
That line alone was worth this conversation.
Hey there, Petra.
Claude? Where are you?
Where else? Wait, I'll meet you down there.
Claude! I thought you were not able to climb the trees.
True, and that is exactly why I worked like a madman to devise a new climbing technique.
I have much admiration for that. To climb is a skill with value.
What can I say? Okay, so I may have cheated a little by using my bow to shoot a rope over a branch, or a few branches, or all of the branches.
Yep.
But once I got up there and hauled up the ropes, it was the same result as if I'd climbed it your way.
I am understanding. That costs more time though, so it is not the best thing for hunting. But you are not harming the tree, so that is an advantage. I am liking this technique.
You're right. I didn't harm the tree at all. I'm surprised that impressed you.
The tree has a spirit. If you hurt the tree, you will give its spirit anger.
I see. I take it the people of Bridget have a close relationship with nature, then?
Trees give us food and also shelter. We are needing them, and they are needing us.
True. The people of Fodlan believe everything is a blessing from the goddess. They've forgotten to be grateful to nature, too. Nature gives us life, sustains us. Without it, we couldn't breathe, couldn't live. It's everything. It's fine to pray to the goddess, but we have to respect nature, too. Don't you think?
Yes. I do not know this goddess, but I know nature. That is the knowing I prefer to have.
You and me both.
Alright, I'm pretty sure their next of war conversation waxes poetic on that subject, so let's move on to something more hilarious.
Creepity creep.
Yep.
Huh?
Living in a land that's dark and blinded by the frigid cold, creeping through the loneliness for ages untold. In your heart, you're desperate for the sweet embrace of light, pushing through and crawling with all of your might.
Yep.
Here, creepy, creepy, creepity, creep. Now, creepy, creepy, creepity, creep.
Again, cringy, hilarious, and adorable.
Claude, you weren't, watching me, were you?
I saw the whole ritual, yes. You have a gift, Annette. I could watch that all day. In fact, I just might.
Claude! Ugh, can you please forget you saw that? I was just making up a silly song to pass the time while watering the plants.
Sure. It could be my secret serenade, if you so please. But tell me, you were born in Fargus, right?
Yes, that's right.
I thought so. You're really talented, you know. It's been a while since I heard a song like that. One that stirs me to my very soul.
Soul stirring? My creepity creep song? I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
I never, ever exaggerate. In fact, it reminded me of rituals we have back where I grew up. We'd gather around a blazing fire and spend the whole night caught up in song and dance. Not unlike what you just demonstrated. Really, the dance I'm thinking of is exactly like the one you just did. We'd scream like beasts and then jump up and roll around. It's freeing, isn't it?
Scream? Like a beast? That is not what I was doing! And what's this weird ritual you're talking about?
Even better than your angelic voice were your lyrics.
I love how you don't answer the question,
Begin to fathom
Claude.
the deep meaning they contain, but maybe if we talk about it.
Deep meaning? No, just no.
Claude is a video essayist, confirmed. Although, actually, no, that's an insult to Claude. Video essayists are shallow. Claude actually puts some thought into things. Even if he projects a little too much and goes a little too off tangent, but psh.
Oh, I get it.
More on that
It's
later.
the sort of thing you have to figure out for yourself. Okay, don't tell me. Give me time. I'll work it out.
Work what out?
Oh, have you already watered the plants? Sorry, I'm just realizing it was supposed to be my turn this week.
No, it's fine. Really.
Okay, see you later then. Creepity creep.
He is not gonna let this go, is he?
Nope! Not at all.
Hi, Annette. Looks like some tasty food you've got there. Mind if I join you?
Sure, but I'm finished eating. You're here late. Busy day?
Very. I got caught up thinking about your song. I find it really makes the time fly.
So you didn't manage to forget about that. I really wish you would.
Alas, I cannot. That song is engraved on my soul. The lyrics, they echo in my brain, begging to be understood.
I feel like I've been here before. I mean, it was even more hilarious when it was Felix being bullheaded, but I don't know, this one's funny too.
Those words represent the cry of a poor soul who died in anguish. Is that it? That's it, isn't it?
Cry of a poor soul?
A land that's dark and frigidly cold. That could only mean the underworld. In my search for truth, I read up on the old rituals of the eastern regions of Fargus. Those who die with regret are thought to end up in an underworld of sorts. Somewhere cold, somewhere dark, somewhere creepy. To escape from their bitter limbo, they dig their way up through the earth, trying to find the surface, or the light, in other words. And so they creep about endlessly in the cold dirt of the underworld, clinging to their hopeless desire. Creepity creep, Annette. Creepity creep.
This is so much better when I know the punchline.
So, was I right, or was I right?
What?
Wrong.
No, you're not even close. It wasn't supposed to be a dark and miserable song at all.
Huh. Now that I think about it, the melody and dance didn't really match the weight of the lyrics.
Have you seen literally any Celtic song ever? They're all uplifting, and yet a lot of them are dour. Unless they're drinking songs.
The lyrics are simply about seeds pushing out of the ground to become sweet little buds. They creep through the dirt until they find the light. The song just describes what it's like to be a budding flower.
Damn, that is good stuff. Okay, maybe I read too much into it.
Maybe?
Actually, now that you've explained, it really is a nice little song. Creepity creep, the gentle journey from the ground to the surface. I love it.
Do you think it's embarrassing that I made up such a silly song?
Not at all. Oh, but that reminds me. I was so inspired by Creepity Creep that I made up some lyrics of my own. I've been nonchalantly carrying them around with me, hoping to run into you. Would you mind taking a look?
Oh, of course. Let's see here. Walking with purpose and a steady stride, lively and bright and full of pride. Crying, laughing, and blazing ahead. Why worry about tomorrow? Let's eat instead.
So, what would you say this song is about, Claude?
Oh, Annette. Sweet Annette. This time it's your turn to decipher its meaning. Let me know when you've figured it out.
I need to figure out what's going on here. I think I can guess at the meaning, but even so, I need to see where that goes. For now, I'm gonna let this one play out. I need to get some water. It's an amusing one, but even so.
What's on your mind, Ingrid? Actually, if it's something troublesome, can it wait a bit? I am positively exhausted today, so I was gonna turn in early. Don't you try to stop me, you hear?
The sun just barely dipped below the horizon, yet you're already preparing for bed?
Rising with the dawn and setting with the sun. Isn't that how a life is meant to be lived?
I'm almost certain you have never been awake at sunrise, Claude.
And how would you know that? You haven't been peeking into my room every morning, right? I'll have you know I like to rise early for my daily meditation.
Uh-huh, sure. And I've decided to quit my pursuit of knighthood. At least try to make your excuses more believable. And that yawn just now. You didn't even bother covering your gaping mouth. One would never know you're of noble birth with how you conduct yourself.
You need to relax, Ingrid. Deep breaths, okay? A yawn can't hurt, I swear it.
Honestly, in hindsight, if I had played the Blue Lines last, I'd probably see Ingrid as the stick in the mud, despite her status as the mage killer.
Really, you'd better get a hold on that attitude of yours. Otherwise, that
Maybe
pretty
because of
face
it.
is gonna get all twisted up with angry lines. Guys don't like gals who are always griping at them. Try a smile every now and then. Here, let's practice. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm surprised she let you go on so
You're telling
long.
me to smile more, aren't you? How common? Since you're so insistent upon telling me what my face should be doing, perhaps my blade can restructure your face with a more permanent smile.
Have I ever told you how I got these scars?
All jokes aside, are you not house leader? As a leader,
That didn't sound
you
like a
should set
joke,
a
Ingrid.
shining example. A position such as yours comes with responsibilities. See that you consider them more carefully in the future.
Ish.
And just how long do you plan on lounging about yawning like a slob? At least lounge in your own quarters.
Hey, at least he isn't Raphael. I don't want to show that's a poor conversation.
Okay.
Honestly, some people.
Wow, somebody needs to teach that girl to lighten up.
I'll throw Sylvain at her. Worked so well last time.
Ingrid, hello.
Yes, Claude?
Listen, I know you and I don't always get along. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry if my way of being is upsetting to you.
If anyone should be making apologies, it's probably me. I've been overly harsh toward you on more than one occasion. I am close friends with someone who has caused me no end of trouble since we were very young. You remind me a bit of him, and I think I've projected my annoyances at him onto you, at times.
Huh. Am I really that similar to this friend of yours?
Not in every regard, no. You certainly seem to treat those of the opposite gender with quite a bit more respect, for one thing.
Well now, I'll take that as a compliment.
You also speak to me in a much more amicable manner than my dear friend ever does.
I mean, it's Sylvain. Is that really a high bar to reach?
Okay, I have to ask you something, but only if you promise not to show me your angry lines again. Doesn't that straight-laced personality of yours make life harder than it needs to be? I feel like there are plenty of people who'd like to get to know you better, but who are scared off by your, well, intense attitude.
Oh, really?
Really. I'd say that especially applies to most of the folks you go around giving lectures to. We're all friends here, Ingrid. We all trust each other with our very lives on the battlefield. Shouldn't we try to accept each other?
You have a point.
sure do. Besides, with a cute face like yours, I bet you could win anyone over if you just threw out a smile now and then.
I've got better things to concern myself with. In any case, you speak as though you know so much about wooing the masses. But I would wager that many of our classmates find it difficult to trust one as slovenly as yourself.
Oh, another lecture. I see you took my words to heart. Look, let's just call a truce, shall we? How about we agree that we could both learn something from our chat today? If you'll make an effort to smile more, I'll try my best to set a better example for everyone.
That seems like an unreasonable thing to ask of you. I wonder if you're capable of such a thing.
And it's perhaps equally wild to ask an ice block like you to melt. But let's give it a try. What do you say?
I'm surprised she's taking it.
I suppose it's only virtuous to ask as much of myself as I'm asking of you. Very well. I accept your challenge.
Yeah, another thing I need... There's a lot of things I need to follow up on. Actually, if I'm gonna be doing a maddening run, I suppose I'll see that all before too long. Either way, I guess... I know I've got the Be Supportive ready, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't show up until part 2.
Hey there, Cyril. You're working hard as usual.
Nah, just doing my job.
Rhea herself gives you your daily tasks, doesn't she? The church employs a lot of people, but not too many of them can claim they get to speak with the Archbishop every day. You should be proud of yourself. She clearly values your work ethic.
Hey, is that everything you wanted to say? 'Cause I'm kinda busy here.
Actually, I was hoping to ask you about Rhea. There's so much we don't know about her, but I thought maybe you...
Yeah, I know more about Lady Rhea than anybody. But why should I tell you anything about her?
So cold. Think about who you're talking to.
Huh? What are you to me?
You don't know who I am?
Of course I do. You're Claude, House Leader of the Golden Deer.
That's not what I mean. Well, never mind then. Tell me, don't you ever miss your homeland?
Almyra?
Yes, Almyra. Judging by that expression, I'm guessing you're not terribly homesick.
Life was a whole lot harder for me there than it's ever been around here. My dad and mom both died in the war, and there was nobody there to look after me. The king, he didn't do anything to help, so I had to survive by being smart. I had to stop being a kid real quick.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You don't have to apologize. It's not your fault.
Regardless of whose fault it is, I'm still sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't even know that an acquaintance of mine was suffering. And sorry for asking a tactless question about your homeland. I should have known that it was likely to bring back bad memories.
Nah, I get sad or mad when I think about it, but I'm used to it, so I don't mind any.
I see that. Even still, I apologize for being careless.
Okay, well, thanks, Claude. If the King of Almyra was like you, maybe things would have been better. Maybe the King's not a bad person and just had other stuff to worry about. But that's not much of an excuse.
If I ever meet the King of Almyra, I'll give him a stern talking to on your behalf.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Bunch of things to get done.
You really are on the other side now, aren't you? Huh. Well, if nothing else, it's good of you to turn a blind eye to me.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Bye, Claude.
Now that I see that again, now I think I understand what Claude's goal is, at least in part. Because, based on what's been said, I'm almost certain that his father is that Almyran king. So I'm curious, what would his reason be for taking up the reins of House Regan? Because we know that I know that all of the heirs apparent died for House Regan, which made it look like the house was about to collapse, but then Claude shows up from out of nowhere and says, hey, I have the crest. I can be heir to the house. Trust me. Everything's fine. Curious as to why that is. Why he decided to do it.
There's really no better place for my midday nap than under the shade of a nice big tree. The twittering of the little birds. It's like they're singing a lullaby just for me.
And interruption.
God, is that a dagger? Am I being ambushed?
Claude, why are you lazing about? You should be training.
Shamir! Is this your doing? Talk about unfriendly. Another inch and you would have sliced my handsome nose clean off my roguishly beautiful face.
But I didn't. Fortunately for you.
You know, if you wanted to give me a talking to, you could have done so with your words instead. That's how most people do the talking thing.
Conversation was not my intention.
Well, what then? A prank? That's not better. I thought we were under attack. I could have died from the shock.
Look closely at the dagger.
Is that... right. There's a poor spider impaled on it.
A poisonous spider. The tiniest bite from which can cause fever, headache, and relentless vomiting. Or worse.
Yikes. I guess this little guy is more vicious than he looks.
I noticed it descending towards your face.
Ah, so you saved me from a certain doom. Well, in that case, I'm sorry for questioning your motives. I promise to repay the favor someday.
I'll keep that in mind.
Wow, so that's what the greatest sniper of all the knights is capable of. Absolutely incredible.
Indeed. I think that's what I'll keep it to because I've got other things I want to see too. Honestly, that's technically enough of Claude, but I have a couple more things to see to because another thing that might be worth looking into is just showing a couple of differences because to my surprise, Claude's story ended up being vastly different, at least where it splits off from everyone else. Because I've got a few picked out that show it. Let me see if I can find them. I don't think this one has too much, but let's play it first. We'll go in order.
Nice work, Teach. It's thanks to you that we successfully completed our mission.
This follows the Miklon incident.
As for Miklon, I wonder if he really believed he could wield a relic.
There it is. Hard to say.
I bet he just wanted to get his hands on it, even though he knew he couldn't use it. Though I'm sure he wasn't counting on turning into a monster like that. I wonder if that monster represents another aspect of the hero's relics. What a strange and terrifying power.
I don't know.
Stories of misfortune have followed the hero's relics since ancient times.
Tomas, you've caught me by surprise. That's not easy to do. Though I suppose I should have expected to see our librarian in his library.
I am sorry to intrude. I simply heard you speaking of the hero's relics. I can tell you more about them if you'd like. The story goes that Nemesis was corrupted by evil because of the sword of the Creator. Other heroes also lost themselves by continuing to use the relics, transforming into black beasts with twisted souls. There used to be a great many records regarding the dark history of the relics.
Used to be?
They have been destroyed across all of Fodlan, stripped from their shelves, including those that resided at this very library.
You make it sound like the church is covering up the truth. But now that you mention it, Rhea was very specific about not wanting anyone to find out what happened at Conan Tower. Hey, Tomas, why are you telling us all of this?
It seemed like you were searching for answers about the relics. What is a librarian if not a guide in the search for knowledge? And not only have you been searching, but you have been doing so through the night. I would suggest you stop before the knights notice. And that is enough meddling for today. Please excuse me.
So I've been found out, have I? I suppose I do spend more time at the library than most students. But I won't stop. I can't afford to.
What are you after?
Teach. You don't really expect me to tell you something so personal just like that, do you? Though, I wouldn't mind sharing if you were to tell me some of your secrets in exchange.
I can't let this exchange pass without comment. If you're sharing secrets, perhaps I can share one as well?
Are you sure you could survive that? I'd say you're the least likely to share secrets out of everyone at the Academy.
Coming from you, I'll take that as a compliment. After all, you're easily the student with the most secrets.
I'm afraid you overestimate me. My secrets don't amount to much. But back to Teach.
Don't try to change the subject, Claude.
We're talking about secrets. Yours. Who is your father? And why did you appear so suddenly as if from nowhere? Duke Regan's eldest son died in an accident. Having tragically lost other family members as well, he was without an heir. The Alliance would undoubtedly have been shaken if House Regan had lost its position of leadership. But then you showed up. Why did you return to House Regan? What brought you to the monastery?
I would like to hear this as well.
Oh boy, I'm trapped here. I have no choice but to surrender under your intimidating gazes. My dream, in truth, is a selfless dream, but I require power to make it a reality. When I learned about the power of my crest, I knew I had a chance, so I'm chasing that dream, to the bitter end, if need be. I came to this monastery because I thought I might find someone useful, someone to help me on my path. So, what do you think? If you promise to help me achieve my dream no matter what, I'll promise to tell you anything.
I have my own dream to tend to. I pray that yours does not interfere with mine.
What about you, Teach?
If it's a noble dream.
I see. Well, now isn't the time to discuss this. You are still my Teach, after all.
Alright, so with this one thing, suddenly the whole tone of part 1 changed, because suddenly it was no longer about Dimitri with his personal struggle and Edelgard working behind the scenes as I realized all the little details. Because this one was much more a matter of, what is Claude after? And what makes it even more interesting is the fact that, having played the game once or twice, well, 3 times now, I know who Tomas is, and it's even more interesting that he would know about that. The fact that the hero's relics have either led others to corruption, or, I guess depending on your outlook, that given that some of the saints could transform into beasts of their own, and Rhea's still able to transform into the Immaculate One, the fact that that's still there, yeah, definitely gives plenty to think about. Let's see. What other thing was there? Let's see. I believe the next one was another mystery. Yeah.
Tomas doesn't seem to be here. Oh well, that's fine. I've been researching the hero's relics a lot since we last spoke to him. I found out something interesting.
Why have you been researching them?
Why? Do you really have to ask? Trust me, what really matters is what I found out. It's about the connection between crests and the hero's relics. The crest stone of each relic is carved with a specific crest, the one that has the ability to wield it properly. The crests are the keys. You need the right one to safely use a hero's relic. The only thing I can't figure out is, why doesn't the Sword of the Creator have a crest stone bearing a crest?
It had one in the past.
Precisely. At least, that's my current guess. There's more. I believe the crest stones might be the source of the relic's inhuman power. When Miklon transformed into a black beast, he was taken over by something that originated from the crest stone. And the crest stone was on his body. It all seems to add up. Now, look at this picture I found in the library. That creature is called the Immaculate One, who was supposedly sent by the goddess to save the followers of Saros.
And this one picture alone, again, continuing what I said, the fact that there was set up for Rhea being the Immaculate One, because this completely blindsides you if you're the Blue Lions, because suddenly, hang on a second, what? Actually, it blindsides you if you're doing a resistance route too, for the first time, but you get the point. Where the hell does that come from? And yet, and honestly, thinking back, the Blue Lions leave so many questions unanswered because they're so wholly focused on events happening in the kingdom. Regardless, let's carry on.
You see the pattern on its brow and a faint circular boundary? Isn't it possible that's a crest stone? If all this is true, then crest stones are what power the ability to assume massive forms, like that of the Immaculate One. And maybe the hero's relics can harness that transformative power.
Oh, it is you. Have you seen Tomas recently?
No such luck. I was hoping to speak with him myself, but he seems to be out on the town.
This is right before the Remire village incident, by the way.
I see. Well... Where did you find that picture?
It was in the library. Why do you ask? Is it something my youthful eyes shouldn't be seeing?
No, of course not. However, that is not part of this library's collection. It must belong to Tomas. It would be problematic if it got mixed in with the other books. I will take possession of it for now.
Take it away where no one can see it, you mean?
What was that?
Well, that's what Tomas said. He said records that the monastery doesn't approve of tend to disappear.
Tomas said that? Preposterous. I have far too much to accomplish to waste time with this foolishness.
He was certainly in a hurry. I wonder if he's off to confront Tomas. Well, he took the picture, so I guess that's that for now. I'll see you later, Teach. So, the church is hiding something after all. Some massive secret about relics and crests. A secret that must have something to do with the professor's true identity.
Oh man, and when this happened, in the moment, I couldn't help but think, oh my gosh, he's breaking the conditioning. Alright, so what's next? I think the mystery deepens? Yeah, this is after the Remire Village incident.
Hey, Teach. That assignment wasn't my favorite, I've got to admit. I suppose pretending to be unaffected doesn't do anyone any good. That was terrible to behold. It's always hard to see innocents die.
It is.
Hey, all you can do is keep smiling, keep marching. That's part of a leader's job. You can't give in to despair. Not just for me or for you, but for all of us in the Golden Deer House. We have to keep smiling so the others can move forward too. As long as we don't show that we're disheartened, they'll know they can make it too. That's what matters. Yeah, sorry for getting ahead of myself, Teach. That's how I feel, but how you handle it is really up to you. By the way, I hear that guy who calls himself the Flame Emperor showed up in Remire Village. I couldn't believe it when Hilda told me the news. What could he be after?
Yeah, apparently Hilda showed up to question where Claude was instead of Dimitri or Hubert showing up. I thought that was just on first glance, I thought that was just a matter of, hey, wait a second, Edelgard's not here because she's right there, but I guess that's still technically true, but given that Eloise shows up, and apparently shows up a second time too, it's just that Dimitri is far more personal. Actually, I've said Heroes Relics both times. What's World Domination say?
I know I just laughed, but that really isn't funny, Teach. World domination. Okay, actually, I wonder. They called this incident an experiment, and they said they got what they came for. That means they might take this success and attempt something even bigger next time. I hate to even consider it, but if they can replicate the incident at Remire Village on an even larger scale, if we're not careful, we'll have a full-scale war on our hands. Then world domination wouldn't be a joke anymore.
Wow, that took a completely different direction.
Flame, your timing is impeccable. Would you care to join us for a while, fair lady?
What? Why? Oh my.
Damn, she gave us the slip. In any case, I doubt she knows the full story. It seems more like she has something on her mind that she can't divulge.
You're pushing too hard.
Seems like it would be better to push Sedith for an explanation. Or, best of all, to go above his head and ask Rhea. Now that we know Tomas was an enemy, we can't be sure that exposing the church's secrets would be to our benefit. Where are the answers I seek? Where are they?
Honestly, I still don't quite know your motive for seeking out those answers anyway. So let's see, what else have we got? Oh yeah, the immediate aftermath of Gerald dying. Well, not the immediate.
Day 5 of the Garland Moon, year 1157. Clear skies. I picked some flowers for her and returned home. The look of joy on her face at the sight of these flowers will be even more beautiful than the flowers themselves? Yeesh, that is enough.
I love it.
Entries from before your birth are full of such romantic blatherings as that.
It's amazing.
Oh, It must be deeply moving you to hear such things, but now is not the time for whimsy. Someone is here.
Still hilarious.
You do not wish for them to see you in this state, so pull yourself together.
I thought I might find you here, Teach. Not the type to wallow in solitude, huh? That's a relief, let me tell you. So, what were you reading? Is that Gerald's?
That's a love letter.
The contents are certainly bittersweet, but I think it's Gerald's diary. Hey, maybe this has some entries from when Gerald left the monastery. Is that so? He was the captain of the Knights, but something made him leave the monastery in a hurry. If it has something to do with your birth, knowing what happened may get us closer to knowing what secrets the Church is hiding. Teach, would you mind letting me read that diary? I know how important it is to you, but I'm not asking lightly. Please allow me to borrow it.
What if I say no?
Are you really saying I'm going to have to sneak in here in the dead of night to read it? I know how important it is to you.
Can I say no again?
Wait, are you... I know how...
Actually, I'm curious. How far can I go take this?
I know how... Wait, are you...
Okay, it's just gonna repeat and choose 1,000,005 different camera angles, isn't it? Okay, fine.
I'm forever in your debt, Teach. If you'd refused, I would have had to sneak in here in the dead of night. I wasn't looking forward to the prospect. Anyhow, let me fill you in on what's been going on lately, and not just as thanks for pointing me to that diary. Rhea dispatched the Knights to various locations in a frantic search for the enemy. There's a rumor that she's already secured some information. Something big is gonna happen soon.
Yep.
That has me wondering, if you find out where the enemy is, what will you do about it? If you ask, No, scratch that. All of us students would gladly lend a hand, even if that means going against Rhea's wishes. Don't forget it. Now go. Everyone's worried about you. You'd better show them you're in good spirits.
Well, we're not, but...
Thank you, you saved...
Yeah, we don't need to see that part. And let's see, I believe, yeah, transformation.
Teach! We won! I'll be honest, when I lost sight of you, I broke into a cold sweat. But Gerald's killer is dead. All's well that ends well.
That's true.
You're kidding, right? I understood putting it off while we were in battle, but now that it's over, just go ahead and spit it out. That hair, those eyes, that unfathomable power. What happened out there?
He's gonna get the full truth.
You mean to tell me that an entity who claims to be the goddess was living in your mind? And it's been that way since you were a baby? And this goddess entrusted all of her goddess-like power to you and then vanished?
Something like that.
It's a difficult story to swallow, Teach. But the way you look now, I guess I've got no choice but to believe it. How could something like that happen? There must be a clue in Gerald's diary. If you believe the diary, there's a high possibility that Rhea did something to you when you were born. That's likely when all this began. What in the world happened to you as a baby? And what was Rhea after? Teach! What's the matter? Did you trip or... Wait. Are you sleeping?
What do you
think? This must be an effect of the goddess's power. I wonder if Teach's body can handle the strain. Think, Claude. What now? Should I carry him on my back? Easier said than done.
Alright, that covers everything important about Claude. Everything else is mostly just a matter of very similar circumstances, except with Claude being rather snarky about it. So, that's pretty much everything to do with setup, and I just realized I've spent an hour and 45 minutes just chipping away at this, but now we can finally get on with the dang game. Figured I'd do all that setup to try and give you an idea as to what to expect. So now, part 2.
Part 2.
Yep.
Verdant wind. Ethereal
Verdant?
moon.
Doesn't that mean green?
Reunion at dawn.
Hang on, I need to look this up.
It is Imperial
Green,
year
yes.
1185.
Why?
Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by 2 opposing factions. Those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those who seek her demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
How is this game gonna play out? How is this route gonna play out? Because Dimitri, he's routed him taking over. Imperial route was self-explanatory.
How long do you intend to sleep?
Apparently not very long, because I'm still playing.
Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
But Mom... Who?
Excuse me?
Yes.
Are you saying you have forgotten who I am? How dare you? Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Why do you keep doing it?
Hey, are you awake?
Where am I?
We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
What do you mean?
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Saros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Anyway, I've heard some thieves have been spotted around those parts these days.
5 years?
Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you?
I hit
It's
my
the
everything.
Ethereal Moon, the year 1185.
On a valley.
It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that?
The Millennium Festival.
Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going?
The monastery.
Are you crazy? I told you. They say thieves are running amok up there. And there's plenty of other dangers, too. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead.
No need to worry about me.
Unbelievable.
Indeed. If only you knew.
You overslept, Teach. Pretty rude to keep a fella waiting like that, wouldn't you say? What's with that surprised look, my friend? You didn't really think I'd given up on you coming back, did you? Can you feel it? A new dawn is finally here. Not just for us, though. No. For all of Fodlan. It's been 5 long years. Where have you been, Teach? You don't really expect me to believe that you've been napping this whole time, do you?
I don't remember.
It's a good one. Except that's not your lying face. I guess I've got no choice but to believe you. You're not exactly normal to begin with, so it's not a huge stretch to imagine you sleeping for that long. And this is where you say, just kidding, right? If this is a rib, now's the time to fess up.
It's the truth.
You must be insane, and yet... fine. I believe you, okay? But that means you don't know anything that happened after your last battle, right?
Pretty much.
I guess it's on me to catch you up. As you can see, Garreg Mach was crushed by the Empire and was never restored. The monastery is in ruins, and the town is in pretty bad shape too. Can you guess why?
Rhea has been sleeping too?
It would seem that's one possible explanation, since you insist that's what you've been up to. All we know for sure is that Rhea suddenly vanished during that battle 5 years ago. The Knights of Seiros have apparently been searching all over Fodlan for her. But the fact that this place is in ruins tells me they still haven't found her.
I'm worried.
Worried, huh? Well, for better or worse, Rhea was clearly fond of you. But I'm not so sure whether it would be good for her to return as the Archbishop. Rather, with her gone... never mind. This could be a dangerous conversation. Before we discuss the state of affairs in each territory, are you hungry? You must be. It's not much, but I did bring some food with me. Let's eat up and go from there.
Works for me.
Whew, I am stuffed. Even the most humble of meals taste great with the right company. By the way, Teach, do you remember the night before the ball? I know it was 5 years ago, but we promised that the Golden Deer House would reunite during the Millennium Festival. Today's the day we promised to meet up, but no one's here.
It's still early.
True. There's still some daylight left. Let's wait just a little longer. You never know, maybe someone will show up after all. Hey, Teach, just waiting around sounds boring, so why don't we get in some exercise? You know, help with digestion and stuff. You must be in bad shape if you've been sleeping for 5 years. It'll do you good to get your body moving again.
You want to work out?
Something like that. Look, if you come with me, you'll understand. Oh, and don't forget your weapons, okay? I want to make sure neither your leadership nor your skill with a blade have dulled.
Thief hunting. Most likely. That's what we were dealing with last time. Except this time, hopefully we'll have a full house.
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Imperial loyalist Cornelia has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Blavid to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters.
How's that gonna work
Despite
for
the undeniable
Lawrence?
threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front. In Enbar, the imperial capital of the Adrestian Empire, Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence in pursuit of controlling all of Western Fodlan. In the meantime, the Knights of Seiros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
So here we are. Trying to remember how many chest keys I have still. I haven't been worrying too much about... Actually, I've had a decent amount of money because this is a New Game Plus route, so... Yeah, I probably got a decent amount. Guess I'll find out, won't I?
The thieves are here. Apparently they're trying to run off with treasures from the monastery.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
This is gonna get expensive. Collect everything the thieves carried out.
What's my strategy?
At the ready.
Oh yeah, the new voice. I still haven't gotten used to it yet. Alright, how many archers? We had problem with Sedith on... So... Actually, here's what I'll do. I'm grossly over-leveled due to the circumstances, so we'll have Claude dismount. Oh yeah, you've got Frail Knot now. Let's have you stow the training axe, because I actually made sure to work with you on that. Have you grab a chest key, just to be on the safe side. And if someone's silly enough to shoot at you... Actually, wait, because I've got you as a Wyvern Knight right now. Oh crap, what's your speed stat, Byleth? Should I have had you equip Nosferatu? Maybe. That was lucky.
I'm stronger than before.
Should have... If I had remembered, I would have... I don't know, it was useful to have you on Wyvern back. Well, if anyone attacks you...
Strategy in motion! I fought and won.
Some things never change, I suppose. Alright. Equip Nosferatu in case they try anything more.
It won't be in vain.
Oh dear. At least that was useless. Oh man, if that had killed me, I would have laughed so hard.
The barbarity is even worse than the rumors. On my honor as a noble, I will expel these ruffians.
Today was supposed to be a happy day, but the monastery is in such disrepair.
Over there. Is that the professor? And the others?
Professor! You're alive! Guess we'd better handle this before I celebrate, though, huh?
You finally made it. I suppose virtue still exists in this crazy world after all.
Yeah, something like that.
My
Alright, Leone, get their attention. You're resilient. And because this is New Game Plus, you're already a pally.
For Gerald!
An over-leveled paladin.
Shall we?
I must pull through.
A fitting outcome.
Not too much has changed with his stance and whatnot. It's kind of surprising.
Here is something to believe in! Yeah! This could turn the tides.
Alright. Alright, here's something to believe in works is pretty good. That's a weird way to say it, but you get my point, I think. Okay.
Shall we?
You're not the greatest when it comes to frontliners. Honestly, I'm tempted to keep you on the back burner. compared to literally anyone else on our team. Definitely not our strongest member.
Watch and learn.
Actually, yeah, that's the problem right there. You do not have the speed to keep up with even basic swordsmen. At least Leonie has the advantage of both speed and defense, but then again, she's also much higher level right now. Oh, that's cute. Oh, hell. And no one out here is a healer. Because Marianne's the healer. Crap.
I can still fight.
And your authority skill is crap.
Got you covered.
Well, worth a shot anyway.
Seize the moment.
Hey, it worked.
Close for my liking. My skills are rising to my status.
Now, if only you didn't suck. Alright, that should keep you comfortably out of range of most people. So that guy's not moving, I'm pretty sure. And in the meantime, you know how to swing a sword around. Actually, given that we just wounded him. Oh yeah, do it that way. I've got him as a sniper right now.
I'll defeat you.
So given that I'm eventually gonna get Ash back, because I'm pretty sure I know how that's... Ooh, silver! Yes, 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 I will take. I shall take all of the silver.
I fought and won.
Actually, that ain't a bad way to do it.
It's time.
Take him out, build up your authority skill, and don't even unequip yours. Don't even unequip anything. Why are you going after Hilda? You're dumb. Who needs more experience? Huh. Hilda's compared. What did I just say? Hilda is comparatively underleveled. That's a surprise. Let's try this.
I'm not dying here.
I didn't steal that crescent sickle off their corpse for nothing. Oh, hell. Never mind then.
So there.
Why do I suck so much?
I must pull through.
Sorry.
Alright, let's change things around then.
My
And if
orders?
that's gonna happen... Oh right, you know Fusillade.
Don't underestimate us.
Or you've got a Gambit that uses it anyway. So, lock that one down, then move over there. He wants to swing, he can die.
Don't get used to this.
So close.
As expected. Okay, so note to self, this is still gonna be a hard-fought fight. Honestly, it's probably because I just spread out so much experience between everyone. As expected, I need to get Leonie over to where Lawrence is. Probably my best bet at this rate. In absence of Hilda, after all, we at least have you to murder everyone in sight.
Make a difference?
I hope this Crescent Lance doesn't cost too much to repair. Probably fine without the steel, though. Ah, useful.
It's over. I must lead them well.
Alright, we are back in order.
At the ready.
Oh wow. Mount up. Oh man, that's not gonna be fun.
Steady now.
And unfortunately, your gambit requires you to get close. I don't like this. What's the range on the assassin?
I can still fight.
Knowing my luck, yep, you don't have a vulnerary. You? Nope. Okay, that leaves Leone and... Okay, that'll hurt, especially since... Claude doesn't have anything you can counterattack with. For some reason, Ignatz and Claude can't counterattack at melee. I don't know if it's a specific ability that's unlocked. Well, it seems like, well, it's an ability that's unlocked, but it might be character specific. Alright, that's fine. I can have Byleth bombard you. That shouldn't do too much. Oh no, you actually did damage to Leone. Oh crap,
What's
you
my
did damage
strategy?
to Leone. Oh wow. Give him something to look at. Actually, you're surprisingly resilient. Can you kill anyone? Ooh, you can kill him outright. Do it. What about this guy? Alright, he'll be fine. When does Marianne come back onto the battlefield? I kinda need a healer.
Let me paint you a picture. Still alive.
You might want to take that. Okay, so going after Ignatz? That's fine. You can handle that. Oh, fine, we'll use the Creator Sword.
Another victory.
Ooh, useful. Stab him.
How about a curtsy?
He actually did damage to you, so stab him.
It's time!
As expected. And thankfully, little effect. There they are.
Is that the professor? And everyone else? If they're fighting, I gotta go help.
Wow, it's you! Here I thought you were dead all this time.
Would that be the professor's ghost?
Hey, you're late. Hurry up and help.
Jeez, Claude.
Leave it to me.
Well, Raphael's pretty resilient given what I've invested
I'll do
into.
my best.
And you're out of range for most things. Here are the chess keys. Unfortunately, none of you are thieves. And we'll have Hilda move in that direction. Well, if I guess I want... Yeah, if I want to push forward, it's probably the best bet.
Let's make this quick.
Let's not put Lysithea in harm's way yet. Poor Marianne. Alright. Claude? I'll take this guy out. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Soften him up first.
People are waiting on me.
That's useful.
Shall we?
Take your shot.
I'll defeat you!
Maybe I should keep you as the sniper. Holy crap.
From you.
Okay, I am keeping you as a sniper from now on. Ooh, I don't want to bait that one out. Yeah, let's take the risk anyway. At this rate, it's not like I'm gonna use you for much. Draw them out.
I will destroy you!
Or just kill them all.
Gerald.
If you end up dead because of that, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Probably should have had you use a vulnerary. Okay, you're fine now. Just have to survive whatever silver bow they have. Actually, maybe that's the problem. I haven't done a whole lot when it comes to outfitting my units. I haven't really been paying attention to their equipment now that I think of it.
We could split into two groups. If we hit them from the north and south, we can trap their leader in a pincer attack.
At least we've got the Avatar of Death to help us here.
Yes.
Still in it.
I'll need Marianne to take a shot, but she should have enough magic with Nosferatu to deal with you. And with minimal risk to herself.
Goddess, forgive me.
Alright, should be fine. Hilda, go kill them all.
You've been alive all this time? Where have you been hiding? Never mind, talk later.
Don't bite the hand that heals you. I know that's not the phrase, but shut up. You better be worth making into a Dark Knight, Lawrence. Alright, take out that archer.
I'm not dying here.
And... can I have your attention, please? This is your captain speaking. We are here to murder you. Nice.
It all comes down to this.
That's gonna lock him down. And Marianne, too. Crap, that's gonna make... it's gonna make Lysithea useless for this turn.
This'll take some strategy.
Crap, that hit her. I am not doing well in this game. And that's actually... okay, it's not much damage, but someone who can hurt Hilda, that's a rarity when they're not magic wielders. What kind of damage can this guy do? Ooh, quite a lot. And unfortunately, you can't move because of what just happened. Ooh. Actually used our gambits correctly. So I got a couple of choices. I can attempt to take you out, or I can hope to heal back enough to where we'll be okay. Given the circumstances, I think we might be able to take him down. Try it. Oh yeah. Raphael should be able to make something of that. Rush him!
No chance.
Haven't had to do that in a while. Use any combat art related to that. That's a poison blade, isn't it? Yes, it is.
I can help too.
Let's hope this works.
I have an idea.
Good work. Move up. Ignat should be able to take him down. Good work.
I wasn't about to let you go.
Yeah, I need Leone to get up there and cause trouble. What's the best way to do this? Guess we'll have Claude move over here. So be it.
I'll use this power for the greater good.
Still not used to that voice. I'm gonna keep saying that for a very long time, I suspect.
Make a difference?
Oh, you actually have a chess key. Head in this direction.
Gotta use your head sometimes.
I'm just gonna assume it hits. Yep. As expected. Going for Leone this time? I'm gonna assume it misses. Oh, dang it! And worse yet, he can actually do damage to her. Well, we've got gambits. Use them! Sucker! Fly in and take him out.
I fought and won.
Rivered Master. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, why not? Pretty sure Leone can take you out with a bow. Yep. Goodbye.
I'm not dying here.
Good work.
I'm all right.
That's convenient.
Thought you could best me?
Apparently they did. Had to say they were wrong. How effectively can you take? Ooh, very. Take him out. Well, you're already poisoned, I'm pretty sure, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, now we can finally start
That
healing
helps.
people. Cute. Die.
That's another one.
Ooh, useful. You don't need 2 hand axes.
Predictable.
Ah, a bunch of people coming out to play. You don't have much in the way of anything? You... Okay, but both of you have chest keys. So I guess we'll send both of you that direction. First, let's make sure our efforts aren't wasted.
The Bladebreaker taught me well.
Let's keep you there for now.
All is going to plan.
Still not used to the voice. Will not stop mentioning it until I am. Even then, I may not shut up about it.
Appreciate that.
There we go. Okay, yeah, don't waste Frail Knot on that. Rude, sir! You actually hit me! You're gonna suffer for that. I had you as a priest for too long, didn't I, Violet?
I'll try.
Why am I having you go that direction when you're not the one with a chest key? Actually, out of curiosity, can you take this guy down? Let's see what this does.
My moment has arrived!
Nothing too fancy.
Sorry, but I must.
Yeah, you're the one with the good stuff.
Is that really you, Professor? It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again.
Touching. Now kill him.
Okay, who's next?
Steady now.
Sorry.
Good work.
I must leave them well.
Can't reach Hilda?
Well done.
That's okay. She's probably not gonna have much involvement moving forward anyway. So, for now, let's grab us in the chest. Silver Lance, nice.
Professor, it's been too long. I do want to chat, but first let's handle these criminals.
We've much to discuss, but first, let us dispense with the riffraff. It is a noble's duty, after all.
Of course. Alright. You have the chest key? Yes. Armor Slayer. Nice.
That helps.
Oh wait, I was gonna have Claude pick it up so that he can grab it more effectively. Wait, you still have a chest key? Oh, I didn't have you use it on the other one. Did I? No, apparently not. I'm dumb. Or I'm tired. I mean, both make sense, but let's go with dumb. Actually, let's keep you around here, just be on the safe side. I know how this mission goes, so just be careful. Oh, shouldn't have skipped past that. I'll have another chance to look at the log once I talk to Marianne, though.
Professor? Is it really you?
The instant we arrived, we're neck deep in battle. We should have arrived late.
Alright, now you can heal Hilda.
Ooh, nice!
Sword I'll probably never use, but hey, I've got it. Alright, let's shake this guy's hand. Violently.
No! I'm not the one you want! I guess I've got no choice! It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat?
Oh, you scum.
We revealed his true identity. Catch him and recover the treasure.
Oh, you scum. You went the wrong direction. No matter. I know how to deal with this. Die!
Our quarrel wasn't personal.
I'm impressed.
Of course, everyone's where they don't need to be.
You should yield me a tidy profit.
Well, that should keep things constrained until we get there. Guess there's no hopping it. Probably should have had... Yeah, probably should have had... I keep wanting to say Linhardt, but I know that's wrong.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
We took care of that. Are you sufficiently warmed up, Teach?
Alrighty then. So it begins.
My, thank you so much.
Now I have to actually pay attention to my strategies. Here goes nothing. I'd have to actually grind people up too.
I'm exhausted. What gives, Professor? I was so excited to see everyone again, and then this happens.
I'm still tired from the long journey.
How did it come to this?
Let's all take a moment to catch our breath.
If you've got the spare time to play with those guys, the least you could do is prepare some tea.
Blame Claude.
Come on, those guys were thieves. We couldn't just let them get away. It seems they've been taking advantage of the church's absence and doing whatever they please here.
In any case, I'm glad that all of you are well.
That's the spirit, Marianne.
That was fun. In fact, I wouldn't mind romping around some more.
So, you were alive this whole time, Professor. I am not surprised. In fact, that is why I came here.
And it doesn't look like time has rusted your skills. That's a relief.
I'm just glad everyone's alive and well. On that note, let's move this reunion party somewhere else. Now that we've dealt with those violent bandits, we could potentially use this place as our base of operations again.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I'm talking about the Leicester Alliance taking over Garreg Mach Monastery. After all, it's right in the middle of Fodlan. It's a critical strategic location.
Are you suggesting that we fight back against the Empire?
Aren't you getting a bit ahead of yourself? The Alliance is in complete discord at present.
I was about to say.
And, as leader of the Imperial faction of the Alliance, isn't Count Gloucester, your father, the main cause of that discord?
Yes, that is true. It was inevitable. Our house's territory is close to Imperial land, after all. Had we not consented to vassalage under the Empire, they would have invaded immediately.
Naturally. And, to be clear, I have no problem with your house maintaining its Imperial ties until we're sufficiently prepared to revolt. The Empire is the cause of the infighting. If we rid ourselves of them, the situation should resolve itself. That's why I'm thinking we should make this our base, raise up an army, and stir up some trouble for the Empire.
Now you're talking. Sounds like fun.
So then, Mr. Leaderman, does this mean you intend to rope us into your little scheme?
Leaderman?
My grandfather passed away. That means yours truly is officially the leader of the Alliance.
If we had a more reliable leader, perhaps the Alliance would not have been divided.
Think what you will. All I need to know is if you're in or you're out.
I'm happy to lend a hand. I won't let those Imperial dogs set foot in Alliance territory. I couldn't bear it if my village got caught up in the chaos of war.
I'll fight too. I've got to protect my little sis.
I will join as well. After all, House Ordelia was once dragged into an Imperial revolt. It ruined us.
Of course. I understand your motivation.
I'll fight too. It's time to take responsibility for my own future.
I don't want to run anymore. I hope I'll be of use to everyone.
We can do anything if we work together, Marianne.
What about you, Lawrence? Are you going to go back home to your scary father or what?
We cannot rely on Claude's scheming to lead us to victory. Therefore, I will remain. It is my duty to ensure Claude does not worsen the situation in the Alliance.
All of us are fighting for a different reason, but we share a common enemy. If we don't act, the Empire will crush us eventually. I say we stop them before they have the chance. So, Teach, will you help as well?
I'd rather search for Rhea than fight.
All the more reason to join us. Admit it, you're not going to be able to do much on your own. With you on our side, the Church will join us as well. That makes fighting the Empire a moral cause, which means it'll be easier to rally support. Above all, your knowledge and strength are indispensable if we hope to stand a chance against the Imperial army. Without you, my schemes are nothing. Just words. Please, take all of that into consideration as you decide.
You're really laying it all on the table, aren't you, Claude? Well, all that aside, this place is a mess. We can't very well make our base in a ruin. And repairing it sounds like a lot of work. I wonder if anyone would be willing to help us out with that.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find someone. Time to get the gang back together.
Can it be? You were alive all this time?
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you. Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Cyril? Is that you? You've grown up, kid. Have you been looking for Rhea with the Knights?
Of course, without Lady Rhea, I don't belong anywhere.
Cyril, that's not... Never mind. We'll figure it all out.
Oh my. The Golden Deer House is together again at last. And all grown up. Well, for the most part.
I do regret that we were never able to hold a proper graduation for all of you students.
Why are you here?
It has been 5 years since Lady Rhea disappeared. We have devoted all of our energies to finding her. However, without being able to set foot in Empire territory, we are at a standstill. We had hoped that perhaps the Archbishop would return here on this day. That of the long-awaited Millennium Festival.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, though I don't suppose you had very high hopes in that regard. Even if she were able to return here, with the monastery in ruins, I don't think she would have felt safe enough to do so. Right, Hilda?
Yeah, this is an important location for the church. To think you've left it in such a state.
It's a danger to the locals, too.
That's true. Perhaps we've left it alone for too long. We've got to make things right.
I can clean this place up like new. It's not fit for Lady Rhea like this.
And leaving this place in ruins affects the safety of this area, too.
Agreed. There is also a great deal of valuable literature here.
Then let's do it. If we all work together, we can restore the monastery to its original beauty.
We will require the aid of skilled craftsmen, too. I shall seek out any such individuals who are willing to return to Garrick Mach.
Fantastic! I'll figure out how to split up the work, and then we can get started.
Of course, you're going to figure out how to split it up. You're not actually going to lift a finger yourself, but... Shh!
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Guardian Moon. The Alliance Leader's Ambitions. Claiming the monastery at Garrick Mach as its home base, the Alliance army joins forces with the Knights of Seros. Together, they begin to take up arms against the Adrestian Empire.
So it begins. I'm curious to know how matters will transpire. Because we're undoubtedly going to be drawing reinforcements from either the Alliance or the Kingdom. I'm just curious to know how... eventually we'll be invading the Empire. Probably... I'm just not sure. What path is this going to take? I'm assuming the rematch of the Eagle and Line's still on, but we'll see.
Good work, Hilda. You didn't do much manual labor, but you managed to rope the Knights into helping us restore the monastery.
Thanks, Claude. But all I did was piggyback on your scheme. I saw your eyes telling me to make some magic happen.
Thank you so much for your help with the restoration.
Oh, please, it was nothing. We're just doing our part as former students.
I'm told you even routed the bandits. That job should have fallen to us. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Hey, don't think twice about it. We're all allies in the resistance against the Empire, right?
The Church is at war with the Empire, but let's be realistic. Wouldn't it be better for the Alliance to eventually submit?
The way I see it, the Emperor wants to take over all of Fodlan and destroy the existing order of the world. I can't see her allowing the Alliance to continue to exist. We're in this just as deeply as you are. Actually, we were hoping to use this place as a base. The Empire begs to be meddled with, and we're first in line.
What? Why would you want to make your base here of all places?
Garrick Mach is situated in the center of Fodlan, both geographically and spiritually. We want to secure this location while the Empire is still overlooking it.
I see. The Empire doesn't see this place as important at the moment because it's far from the front lines.
But if we simply decide that it's ours to occupy, that does nothing to inspire the hearts and minds of the people of Fodlan. Luckily, good old Teach has finally returned to us. If the Professor Rhea entrusted with the Sword of the Creator fights at our side, well now, that's a just cause anyone could get behind. What's more, here we are, working alongside the legendary Knights of Seros. It smacks of divine providence, doesn't it? Can you feel it?
I have heard what you have to say, Claude. And you, Professor? Where do you stand?
I will fight the Empire.
On our own, we lack sufficient military strength. But with the help of the Alliance, the Archbishop said if anything should happen to her, that we should entrust the affairs of the Church to you. If you intend to fight alongside the Alliance, then I will follow you as well. Is that acceptable, Claude?
Of course. I can't think of anything more reassuring than having both Teach and the Knights on our side. Together, we'll stop the Emperor and her reckless ambitions.
Alrighty then. You're a little too gung-ho about this. I'm nervous. I mean, to be fair, you've laid it out pretty well, but even so. Pretty sure I've seen this conversation.
Apologies for...
Yep. I'm gonna be lazy. Alright, so... Oh man, so much to do, so little time. I'm surprised Claude doesn't have any special certification, or does that come later? Well, what's he at right now? Hang on. Okay, Wyvern Master. Okay, that's the critical difference. So, what was before was Wyvern Rider and Wyvern Lord. That's what threw me. And yes, okay, Wyvern, whatever. And anyone else? Actually, how close is Leonie to Bow Knight? Still need to work on bow and riding skill, but still. She's proven useful as both a frontliner and just stalwart defender, though to be fair, that could be because she's overleveled the hell and back. Okay, so level 31, 27. Okay, makes sense. So let's start exploring. Wow, these are powerful. Holy crap. That is insanely powerful. What's House Longwear look like? Huh. Yeah, no. What's without the cloak look like? Oh, I see, the Officers Academy uniform. Makes sense. Anything interesting for these? Alright. Not too interesting in the aesthetic department, but then again, I bought the DLC for story stuff. Ooh. How's this one?
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you?
Of course.
I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for?
Thanks and protection?
Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose, and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on.
You should look to the future instead of the past. From now on, we'll look to the future. Together.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together.
Alright, fair enough. Okay, is everyone at 50 motivation? That's gonna be it. I'm gonna have to go overboard on buying people crap, aren't I? Yeah, I really don't want to go any further today, if I'm honest. Well, tonight. Holy crap, there's a lot to say. Holy crap! Can you tell I've spent a bit of time with the main group? Good frickin' lord. Okay, yeah, I am not seeing the wall of this tonight. Holy crap! There is way too much in here. Way too damn much. Okay, hang on, we'll see to... Oh right, Ash isn't in the party yet. Ah! At least I know where he is this time, even if I'm pissed about it. Look at all this crap! Well, for now, I'm going to bed. I've been at this for way too dang long. So, tomorrow we shall continue pretty much at this point. We will hopefully make more progress in the story, defend Garrick Mach, figure out what the hell we're doing, figure out where the campaign's gonna take us, and hopefully have a fun time along the way. So, in the meantime, see you all later. God, I'm tired. This is what I get for staying up so late.